All right. What are some common pitfalls in leadership development programs and how can they be avoided?
Yeah. Billions of dollars are spent in the leadership industry. That's all what the reports say. If you look it up online, you will see the amazing amount of money invested in it. And I have been swimming in the world of leadership for 30 years. I know these waters. I know the players. I know the industry. And so there's some things that we should really understand in order to make the best use of our resources. And that's the way we think of all those training dollars is those are resources that are meant to go towards the evolution and development of leadership. But let me ask you a question. How can you get better at something if you don't understand it or if you haven't distinguished it? And what I mean specifically is that many leadership programs lump together the idea of leadership and authority. They don't make the distinction between positional authority, which is a legitimate and important and vital topic, and separate it from leadership, which is an activity. Meaning, because it's an activity, an individual can practice it and perform it and get better at it. And specifically, we talk about the three elements that help you get better at any activity by engaging your natural talents and directing them healthily and effectively toward that activity. And growing your knowledge related to the activity, so specifically leadership. And then what are the steps, knowing the steps of the activity. So leadership development programs, if they aren't doing these things, then they really should check themselves before they wreck themselves. And basically, it's one, do you help people identify their talents and direct it toward the activity of leadership? Do you, even before that, I would say, if that's step one, then I'd say step zero is, do you distinguish between authority and leadership? And then do you talk about leadership as an activity, or do you unintentionally perpetuate the myth that leadership is about status and clout mongering and climbing to higher levels of privileges and status? Because that's what many of these programs do. They unintentionally make it the cool kids club and this mindset that leadership is equivalent to status. Then, second, do you help people with knowledge related to the activity of leadership? And if you haven't made the distinction, then I'd question that. I'd say, well, what are you teaching? Are you teaching authority? Are you teaching leadership? Are you teaching some, mashup between the two? And do you know yourself the difference? And then finally, the steps of the activity of leadership. Do you articulate what those are and how people practice them? And then, cultivate that the way you would cultivate any other performance aspect of performance in the organization. There's steps to every activity. Did I fulfill orders? Did I take care of customer service? Did I X, Y, Z? Well, do we have similar steps for the performance of leadership? If not, then you are basically just paying a lot of money to talk about a general concept that you think everybody generally understands, but they don't. And so these are some areas that I'd recommend, some tough talk maybe, but some reality checks for reflection on what are you teaching in your leadership program, and are you investing your dollars to the best effect?